'cause what I had to do to get through it, she put me through. Grew my hair way too long, then I dyed the whole thing cherry blonde. Then I went through a stoner phase, I watched TV non-stop for days, started to dress up like a freak while I was stuck between. I can now drink everyone.
Hi, this is Danger Canadian Content Productions. I'm the Moose. We're live at Factory Gastropub here on Danforth. I'm delighted to say we've got Josh and Scott from Fluxes with us.
Yeah, good evening.
Oh, good evening. Oh, yeah. Oh no, our pleasure completely. And our pleasure because we saw you twice in January, okay?
Yep.
So this is now February, so for the best basis of the video. And one in the Hideout and then another one at the Horseshoe. Both of them were storming gigs. You look like you guys were having a lot of fun on stage,
yeah.
If I'm honest. Would that be a fair reflection of the gigs?
I think we just sort of, practices and recording are fine, but we sort of live for like the live performances, right?
Yeah, and I think if you're having fun up there, then the audience will have fun. Otherwise, it's not going to work.
And the Hideout, I think, was part of the bout. Is that right?
It was Sounds of the City.
Soundtrack of the City. My apologies. Yeah. I got caught up on that. But yeah, Soundtrack of the City though is having like 4 or 5 different festivals this year, which is remarkable. And we've been working with them for a while. So, you know, I think that the influence I think they're having is just getting broader and broader. So we're seeing stuff in the Paddock, which have done some solo stuff for, and that's really worked. They're intimate and interactive. I don't know if you've heard about that part. It's a really good place to be if you've not been there before. But the enjoyment on stage is absolutely critical. So if you're not enjoying it on stage, it's not happening for you. Is that fair game?
Yeah. I think that's definitely the most important part. I mean, you got to be also. It's a balance between enjoying yourselves, but also playing the songs like as best as you can, because sometimes the enjoyment can, if you really get carried away with it, you can miss some notes and you can not be at the mic when you need to be at the mic and that kind of thing. So it's
But there's something that changes, you know, like as soon as you get on stage and the lights are on you, and like I look over at Josh and Amanda, and it's like, yeah, this is going to be good, and you know, like it just changes, and the first notes ring out, and you're like, yeah, and you sort of. You're aware that the audience is there, but you kind of have to forget about it a little bit. You know?
Well, half the time you can't even see them.
Right.
The lights on you. But I will say there's been bands I've played with live, and we were good, but when I went up there, I wasn't always like, this is going to go stellar, and this is going to go really well, and I'm not worried about anything. When I go up with these guys, I don't worry about anything.
It does help if you've got a lot of good new recent material that you want to get out there as well. Okay, so your new album came out last year.
Yeah, end of October.
End of October. So this is Things I Wish I Said While You Were Standing in Front of Me.
Yeah.
Great song title. A real bugger to say, but a really great song title. But also full of great songs. If I'm honest, it's one of the reasons we wanted to. We do some research before we go see anybody. And we listen to the album, and you're going, "This is absolutely massive." So, for us, I'll be honest, it's probably one of the most complete albums. And I'm not saying that because you're sitting in front of me. I'm saying because I genuinely feel that one of the most complete albums we've heard in a long time.
Thank you.
So, how do you? I know you're a prolific. That's what I know, proficient, but prolific songwriter, yeah, or songwriters. So, is that something that you clearly got a lot of mileage to go with this album as well, in terms of other gigs. So you've got other gigs lined up. Let's talk about other gigs for a second here. So where else is next, if you like?
I'll let you.
So we're playing. We're back at the Horseshoe March 13th.
Excellent.
And yeah, so that's just like a local band night that we're playing. And then we're organising some out of town dates as well. We're heading up to Ottawa, Montreal, Kingston later on this year.
Because at this point we could say, by the time the video comes out, we can announce the dates. It'll be June 6th, we've got the Supermarket here in Toronto. That's a Thursday.
Okay.
June 7th, we're at Live on Elgin in Ottawa with a band, with some guys I used to play with in Ottawa called Shanghai Salad.
Okay.
And then June 8th, the Saturday, we're trying to lock down in Montreal.
Yep.
Right, okay.
No venue yet or anything like that, but yeah.
And then June 9th will be Kingston on the way home.
Right. Okay.
So it's sort of like a mini weekend tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's important, isn't it? Because you know, getting outside of Toronto is a good thing. Right, getting outside of Ontario is a very good thing. Yeah. I think there was a note that said, and my numbers might be wrong now, but I think it was something like 80 or 90% of all music sold in Canada sold in Ontario.
That makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that does make sense because you look at the places you get to. I appreciate that Montreal was in Quebec, all right? But Montreal has got a history of great music as well.
Yeah.
So you know, it's always a good place to be as well. From that point of view.
Yeah.
Cool. So you're going to take this album on the road. Are you writing more material already?
Yeah, we just started. I started writing again at the start of the year, and we've just kind of started going through those songs bits. So we got about half a dozen now.
Right.
But my plan, hopefully, and this is very hypothetical, was write about 25, and then whittle it down to the best dozen or so.
Yeah.
And hopefully have that out next year.
That's phenomenal. To write 25 songs is it's a labour of love at the same time, but it depends on how easy it comes to you as well, and also the people around you. If I'm brutally honest,
Yep.
Because it's not just the songwriting; it's how that changes over time with the people you've got around you as well. Yeah.
Like when I joined the Fluxes like spring of last year, spring of 2018, and these guys were about halfway through writing the album at that point.
Yeah, maybe a bit more than halfway through. We had probably a few tracks left to lock down, but as soon as Scott came in, like I remember you came in, the first practice or two of the tracks just were like done.
Yeah, just like that influence of each other. But one of the things I noticed really early on was how good of a writer Josh was. Like every time you go to practice, he was like, I've got this song, I've got this idea, and like he'd be sending demos at like 2 a.m. in the morning and stuff, and like it flew out. Like the album came together really quickly. Yeah. And it came together really organically as well. There was never a time when we were like, oh no, this isn't going to work, or this is, or arguing about any of the tracks. It was just like, yeah, this fits, and I can put this here, and it worked really nicely.
Yeah.
And I've never been in that situation before.
That synergy is incredibly. It doesn't matter. I'll be honest. It doesn't matter whether it's a band or if it's being even an office. That synergy, that great group of people around you is very. It's rare.
Yeah.
But it's also, then you realise you're in a very special place at the same time to be able to do that. So that's going to be and also, if I'm brutally honest, then new material, you got existing new album out, and it's going to be a new album out still, and that'll be there for a while. But also, you've also got the opportunity now to road test new material while you're on the road as well.
Exactly.
So does it get any better than that? Probably not. So you want to see whether that really works in front of a live audience? Yeah. There it is.
And I think we said that we want to like throw a new track in like every few gigs and just sort of test it out, see how the audience reacts and stuff. So.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of got to do that with the first album, but in the same sense, that was like all we had. So you were going out there and you were playing stuff nobody knew and road testing at every show, which it can get a little bit tough because your whole set is a test. Whereas now we can test one song. If we have the crowd up here and then we play that new song and they're just going for it, then we know, okay, that's a winner.
Saw a band in a Horseshoe Friday. Seen them a lot over the last few years. Absolutely, probably the one band we go to all the time, and they put in probably 75% of the set was all new songs. Why? Because they already had the audience in front of them who were prepared to work with that. Yeah?
Right.
So there won't be new songs next time round.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So that puts you in a good place.
Yeah.
So releases coming out. You've got gigs. You'll be out during the summer as well. Any festivals thrown in there as well? I mean, are you looking at any of the sort of Canadian Music Week or North by Northeast or anything else going on?
We're working on it. We've applied to a bunch. We're waiting to hear back. Right. So that's we don't know. But our name is in. I would say like every single major one, not major. We're not going to be playing a huge festival, but in terms of ones that you could name in the GTA, going as far as Hamilton and Kitchener and I'm trying to think, Oshawa. We've got our name into pretty much all of them, and we're just waiting to hear back.
No, it's important because, as I say, it's about reaching a different audience. I mean, if you think about, for those who don't live here in Toronto, I will say for the camera that at the end of the day, Queen East and Queen West are two completely different places.
Yep.
And getting a Queen East or Queen West audience to move the other way, even for one night, is a major achievement.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
So you can talk about sort of the East and West End of London in pretty similar terms.
Yeah.
You know, get people to move across. Well, that's actually going to take a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
But taking it out on the road is so important. And then beyond Canada, any thoughts about what that might look like moving forward, or is it the primary goal? 19 is Canada, and then 20 we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I think that's the case. I mean, we've been lucky to play with a bunch of different bands from not just the GTA, but like a couple of bands from Montreal, a couple of bands from down in Windsor, a band from the US as well. So hopefully, keep in touch with those guys, see what happens. I'll have some contacts in the UK,
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
I'd hope so.
Yeah, right.
In the great scheme of things, but that works too. Okay, so thank you. So what we're going to do now, we mentioned the speed round of doom right at the beginning of this, and we're going to move straight into that to finish off. You have the choice of questions of B, C, or D. So you can choose. I'd recommend you choose one of those, and then we'll ask you the same questions, and you can run through and then your competitive analysis. B, C, or D. Which one's going to be?
Let's go with C.
C. Okay. Right. We're still into superpowers, but we're into a different set of superpowers than we may have been talking about earlier on. You can have one of these superpowers. You can vanish unwanted hair with a thought, a bit like the tree in Harry Potter that disappears all of its leaves immediately. You can have telescopic eyes that can come out and look round corners before you get anywhere, or you can have vampire teeth on demand. So this is the opportunity. These are the choices for you. You can pick separately with this. So it's vanish unwanted hair, telescopic eyes, or have vampire teeth on demand.
You go first.
Definitely telescopic eyes.
Yep.
I don't like most situations I find myself in. I don't want to be in. I don't want to see. I'm almost borderline antisocial. So I would say the telescopic eyes, but nope, not going to go down that corner.
Yeah. You know what? What's the club look like tonight? Should we have a quick look in before we go?
Exactly.
I think I might be with you. What do you reckon?
Well, I don't need help vanishing hair at the moment, so I'll go with the telescopic eyes as well.
Telescopic eyes
I
as
think
well?
it'll be good to see what's coming.
Okay, so the next question is a little bit random, and there is an answer to this. What's really big and has a trunk?
A tree.
Oh, I was going to say oh, wait. An elephant?
Well, I would have thought that.
An elephant, yeah.
Elephant trunk? Actually, it's Hagrid. From Harry Potter.
Okay.
Actually, both of you are
Getting the Harry
right,
Potter,
to be perfectly honest. But we went for the random part. Yeah? Okay, this has caused arguments in the past, so I'll be very honest here. Your favourite pizza?
Like place?
No. Well, it can be
type,
place,
okay.
or
Okay.
type is good, or place is
Okay.
good as well.
I would say Domino's,
Yep.
sausage, mushroom, pepperoni.
Okay.
Meat feast.
Meat feast.
Yeah, but it's got to have some veg on there as well. So
Okay.
yeah, meat
So you
feast.
get the full-blown meal then. You get your
Everything.
meat,
Yeah.
meat
Meat and two veg
on a pizza. Yeah,
Perfect.
cool. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's good. There is no wrong answer. You know that, don't you? Okay, so you have a straight choice: big in Canada or huge in the USA.
Well, there's more cities to play in the U.S., but I don't want to live there. I think the U.S. is completely
Careful.
well. I don't know if we have American fans. I don't want to live in the States for the time being, so I'm going to say big in Canada.
Big in Canada?
Yeah,
Okay.
big in Canada.
Big in Canada.
I much prefer Canada.
There's nothing wrong with any answer.
I think what's the saying? Like success starts at home or something. I
Yeah.
think.
Right.
Yeah, I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
And that's going to bring us to a close. So both thank you very much. Josh and Scott,
Thank you.
very much indeed.
Thank you.
All of the details of Fluxes will be in the credits. Many thanks to Factory Girl and George for having us again, and to Yestin for filming. Until next time, good night.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Black Pontiacs give me heart attack. I put you on a pedestal and take it back. I can't pick up the slack for what you like. With all my love is wasted on yours, man. Jack, your man is over mine. Sure. other surprise me.